Who Asked My Ox,
where we challenge you to stop playing and start pushing.
This is my beautiful wife, Iana.
And this is the love of my life, Ayize. Hi, baby.
Hi, baby.
I love you.
I love you too.
All right, y'all. Welcome to our blog and online advice column. This is where we answer all the questions that you ask of us and give you our opinion, and of course, always encourage and challenge you to stop playing and start pushing. All right, we have a question here today from a young lady, and so we're going to go ahead and read it out, and then we're going to go from there. I would like to know how to deal with a significant other's unstable job situation. Let's start off by saying that we have been in a relationship for some years now, and yes, we do have children, however, we are not married. In our attempts to plan a simple ceremony, we had to push things back due to my significant other losing the current job. We have been together through the both of us finishing college, having children, and life's other roller coasters. During this, my significant other has not had the most stable jobs. We are most often a single income family. This has been off and on for years, and I'm not sure that I can deal with this anymore. I am more than supportive during the times when my significant other is out of work, and I've made suggestions time and time again about us relocating. I've even suggested that he go ahead of me and the children and find work and give us some time before we relocate. But that only leads to an argument. I feel like we will never get to a place where we have financial security. What can I do? I am toying with the idea of transferring my job to an area where the job market is better. We have school-age children, and we need to maintain a two-income status to survive in this economy. Whoop, there it is. All right, so I already know I got the official and the unofficial for you on this, okay? The official and the unofficial. But I'm going to let my husband, you have some words that you want to throw out there. Do what you do, babe. Do what you do.
When I first heard this question, it actually hit home to some degree because, their scenario to some degree is kind of like our scenario used to be. And, I can remember when, I decided to become an entrepreneur without discussing it with my wife. And that right there, to some degree, caused, for lack of a better word, hell in the household financially.
To a great degree.
To a great degree. For me to just make that decision. Yeah, for me to make that decision unilaterally was really the wrong thing to do. So black men, all men period, what I would say to you is that if you decide to venture into the land of entrepreneurism, check with your wife. Make sure your family is straight first. That's your first and foremost priority. Do what it is that you got to do while you're bringing in some steady income versus just going out on the limb and putting everything that you got at home in jeopardy. Don't do that. That ain't cool. So when I first heard this letter, that's what I thought about. I thought about our experience and just the drama that I may have caused in our household just based off of some decisions that I made, some irresponsible decisions that I made. So, I've apologized to my wife and I apologize to you again. We're in a much better space now. But yeah, so that might be some encouragement for you, sis.
You can make it through.
Yeah, you can make it through. You can make it through. It's a difficult thing to do, but you can make it through. What I would encourage you to do, what my wife did during this time period was, we always kept the lines of communication open. Mm-hmm. You got to talk about it. You got to ask him what's going on. Why is it difficult for him to get a job? Why is it difficult for him to hold down some steady income? What's his purpose? What's his motivation in life? Just try to approach him from a space where, you're concerned about him. And then also what you could do too is just really express your concern from a space of transparency. Let him know how what he's doing is impacting you, impacting the household, but don't attack him. Talk to him in love and try to make him know that, baby, I need you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so here's my unofficial. I'll get to the official later. My unofficial is this. You all have children. You all got bills. Y'all got things y'all need to do. There ain't no time for him to not be maintaining what he needs to maintain. I don't know if the reason that he has not been able to maintain a job is because of the industry he's in or this economy. That could be it. Yeah, I don't know if it's like, my husband said there's something going on within him, entrepreneur or not, but that he just can't seem to maintain something. But I'll tell you, like our therapist that we go to from time to time said to us, you can look at the why, and you can try to figure out why. But what's more important than trying to figure out the why is looking at what is the impact. What is the impact on the family? What is the impact on you? What is the impact on whether or not we can keep the lights on, food in our children's mouths, and a roof over our head? And I'm real clear that he just gonna need to get it together. So in order for that to happen, I'm gonna move now into the official. Sit down, make a plan, be real concrete about it. You all need to agree on a plan, and you probably need to have a plan A, a plan B, and maybe even a plan C. For example, saying he's going to go look for a job between this time frame and this time frame. If he doesn't get it within this time frame, then maybe he needs to, for example, come out of that particular industry and go look at the Walmart, right? If he's already, that's his industry, he works retail and that kind of thing, then maybe he needs to go and get a lawnmower or borrow one and then start going around and cutting grass. Whatever he needs to do, he needs to hustle, because that's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. And if he is arguing with you, resisting that, saying it's not that serious, or I'm not doing that, what have you, and you all just can't seem to agree on what the methods will be, then my hope and my prayer for you and your family is that you all will seek some outside help. Because when you get into places like that, you may need to find a coach, you may need to go to a counselor, and even if he doesn't see it the same way as you, he should at least be willing to do that, because it's a problem for you. So it's a problem for the family, it's a problem for both of you. Beyond that, if he ain't willing to do what he need to do, at least go to counseling or something, you know, pick up something and get to working, you have some thinking that you need to do. It's just that simple.
But it all begins with a conversation, because one of the key points here is that you need to make sure that you all's idea of what security means is to some degree blended. You know, he might think security means, you know, living off a one income family. And you might think that security means you need both incomes. You might think that you all need to send your children to private school. He might think public school is sufficient. You know, so you need to make sure that you all's ideas of security to some degree are able to blend together so that you can create that security for the family as a whole. So make sure you all are getting clear on these definitions. Make sure you all are trying your best to come to an understanding, but communication is absolutely critical.
It really is. It really is. Communication at the end of the day is where it's at, even during these difficult times. So we hope that through giving you a few concrete things to do, looking at that plan, defining what security means to the both of you, actually writing that down. I'm always one for writing. Write it out and then compare it and then tweak it so that you can blend it together. From doing those things, hopefully it'll be able to move you all to the next phase of this issue. But I will say this, it ain't gonna be easy. You might be ready to throw up your hands. You're gonna drop some tears, and he may be real upset from time to time. But you know what? Don't play. Just push.